afternoon, everybody. This is Adam Bauman with The Bauman Show, and today we are going to be speaking with owner Chase of RCO Bartending. Chase, how you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you for having me, Adam.
Absolutely. Hey, you want to tell us a little bit about RCO Bartending and how'd you get started? And
Yes, sir. So, kind of a funny story. My bartending career started 15 years ago. I was the lead bartender at the El Paso Chihuahuas baseball stadium. And one thing kind of led to another. I knew the food and beverage manager at one of the country clubs here in town, one of the local ones. And he proceeded to come up to me and ask me if I'd be interested in doing some private parties, weddings, quinceañeras for some of his bigger clients. And I said yes, I was open to the opportunity. And I did that for about 12, 13 years. And for about the past 2 years now, it's gone from more of a side hustle to an actual business. And there's many things under the umbrella of RCO bartending. Most mobile bartenders, they just do, that's it, events. RCO bartending is so much more than that. We do bar consulting, we do menu designs, we do one-on-one trainings for people who are interested. And kind of an interesting story on how I got started. I moved to Scottsdale, Arizona, right after college, right after graduating from UTEP. And I was looking for a way to meet people. And I'm actually not the world's biggest drinker, but my parents convinced me to go to bartending school. So kind of like a chef goes to culinary school,
yeah,
I have formal training. I went to bartending school in Scottsdale, Arizona. And I'm a true extrovert. I like talking, I like socializing, I like people. So that's what I'm really passionate about when it comes to bartending, is getting to know my clients and my customers.
no, that's awesome. So what kind of gigs have you done lately?
So lately we have been staying busy more so with the consulting side of things. I did the full menu design and I trained the staff at the Rib Hut. That's an El Paso landmark that's been here for over 30 years. They have 3 locations. 2 of them have a liquor license. One does not. That kept me really busy. And I also have been in contacts and works with doing some other trainings for hospitality venues like the Inn of the Mountain Gods, Azul. So we're just really excited to scale and get bigger and more well-known here in El Paso. I am a native, so I feel very passionate about not only the hospitality business, but the city as a whole.
No, that's awesome, man. So I see you on Instagram quite a bit. You have all these drinks. They look awesome. What's your favorite one to make?
Well, actually, when we were walking in,
No.
the young ladies at the desk, the secretaries, they asked me, what's my favorite drink to make? And people ask me that quite often, what is my favorite drink to make? And my go-to answer is always whatever makes me money, whatever is profitable to me. But
Well,
ultimately,
what's the most popular request?
I was telling them, and I tell most people, being in El Paso and having the Hispanic culture, the margarita is really popular, and different variations of the margarita and how you can recreate that with cucumber, spicy, watermelon. You can combine flavors. But at the end of the day, I like making my own drinks. I like making the drinks that I come up with, my menus. Though that's the most exciting thing to me. I like making classic drinks. But I like coming up with my own creation because I think that bartending is art.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I get most excited about. And at the end of the day, different people, different venues call for different drinks. And I'm just there to be an entertainer. Anybody can make a drink, but not anyone can make a show.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. So as you go to a venue, what is it? How's it work? You show up. I saw you have a new mobile bartending type of thing. You show up, you bring that, and people
Yeah.
just come up and order drinks. Or,
No, you're exactly right. So that's a really good question, Adam. So we are in the process right now. We just purchased a new bar. I was kind of headstrong about not scaling my business. I was perfectly content with just kind of word of mouth. I was telling the gentleman when we walked in that the social media aspect is really new to me. So that's been a great added component to our business, learning social media, learning reels, learning about podcasts. But I would operate with a really small bar that was kind of portable. You just pop it open, you start serving drinks, you move on with your life. And then I thought to myself, I really think there's something here and I want more creativity within my business. So my family and I, who I give a lot of support to, or let me rephrase that, they give me a lot of support. I'm very gracious that I have, great parents, a great fiance. They're very supportive. We drove all the way to Killeen, Texas. We recently picked up a new mobile bar and we drove it back. We didn't spend the night. It was round trip there and back within a 24-hour period. I would not recommend that to anybody. It was not fun. It was very humid, very hot, but the end result should be a really cool looking Volkswagen mobile bar. And we're kind of right now in the process of putting wheels on it so that we can get it in and out of venues a lot quicker. So with me and myself, each kind of mobile bar operates a little bit differently. We offer 3 kind of unique packages to make the process easy for the guest or easy for the person purchasing. So we have a basic, which is me serving drinks, just showing up at your house. Then we have a middle package, which would be either the bar or the mixers, either or. And then we have a premium package, which most people opt for because it takes away all the headache, all the guesswork. You get the mobile bar, you get myself with 15 years bartending experience as your bartender for 4 hours. You get this very unique mobile bar. If you'd like to see it, you can check it out on the Instagram at RCO.bartending. And like I said, it's not done, but you saw the trailer. The trailer's really cool. We just got it wrapped a couple of weeks ago. It has our logo on there. And I think as a whole, Adam, small businesses, they're not just one person. It's a group of people coming together. Yeah.
No, I completely agree. And do you also train people? Do you have trainings?
Yes, sir. So that's a good question. I like I told you a few minutes ago, I realized that there's a real market for training people. There's a lot of servers who want to become bartenders, but there's not a lot of training opportunities for them. Also, restaurants have reached out to me, or I've worked with restaurants. As a third party, I'll go in and I'll train bartenders because the general manager is usually really busy with day in, day out operations, and it's hard for them to find time to train their staffs. Also, if somebody's looking for an opportunity to create income or create revenue for themselves, they want a main job as they're going through college. They want to create a side hustle for themselves. Bartending is a great way to do it. It's 3 sessions. I walk you through step-by-steps the bartending of basics. Let me rephrase that. The basics of bartending, customer service, beers, wine, cocktails, garnishes. And then after the 3 sessions, I present you with a certification. You could take that and you can create yourself a job with that certification. And to be quite honest with you, Adam, I'm a school teacher, and I really feel passionate about education. But if you don't want to go to traditional college, there needs to be outlets for people, and I think trade school is a great outlet.
I think the trade industry is coming back with force, actually.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, I myself have a master's degree, and a lot of people laugh at that when they find out that I still bartend with a master's degree. I do it because I genuinely like it.
Yeah.
And like I told you, I like the interaction with people. But trade school my brother is a welder. He works for the government, and I just see people who get massive amounts of debt, and they end up with $50,000, $60,000 worth of student loan debts. And I think trade school, and I think customer service kind of falls under that category.
No,
if you can get a certification and instantly start making money with no debt, I mean, and then I tell my students, not to stereotype, but especially the female students, make it a job, don't make it a career. And what I mean by that is that it's real easy to see the fast cash and the money that comes with serving, but don't make it your end goal. Go out there, get yourself a career, and then make it a side hustle, or work your way up the ladder. Become a food and beverage manager, become a general manager. There's nothing wrong with bartending. There's nothing wrong with customer service, but try to strive for that next step.
Do you include those kind of tips in your the trainings that you do?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I like to really preach that I went to school, I got a degree, and that I think it's important, but it's a great way for you to make money. But I do teach them, try your best not to make it your end all, because I do know people that I've personally worked with that have stayed in the industry for a really long time. And once again, I think it's great that they have jobs, that they have incomes, that they're providing for their households, but try to move forward so that you can work to have that pension or that retirement on top of customer service.
I think it's awesome you're providing that, because I think there's a lot of times that people don't know there's options. You know, they think that there's just college that you have to go to get anywhere in life, and there's absolutely not. You have to do other options such as trade or the service you're providing. And
yeah, most definitely.
awesome.
And we were talking right now, and it's really easy to get sucked into that world of you, like you just said, that you have to go to college, where you can start out. This is kind of off the subject, but my father, he's really high up at Freeport-McMoRan, which is a very big copper and gold refining company here in El Paso. And he hires two different kinds of people: skilled, which would be like your laborers, your welders, your electricians, your plumbers. He hires that. And then he hires the educated people, which would be your engineers. And he actually starts his laborers off more than he starts off the engineers. The engineers have a higher cap, they have a higher growth, but fresh out of school, the laborers are actually making more than the people with education, with far less debt, with far less debt. So I do feel passionate about trade school. I mean, I think college is a great avenue for a lot of people. I think getting educated is important, but education doesn't necessarily mean college. Go out there, go to a trade school, get a certification. But like I said, I really encourage my students, and I encourage the people I train, both at my house, at bars, at restaurants, to try to work towards starting their own business, get into private bartending, become a general manager, become a food and beverage manager, even open up your own bar one day, so that way you can scale and have growth.
That's awesome. How many students do you think you have per year?
Well, the training side of thing, that's been really recent with RCO Bartending. Yeah. So we have a young lady. She's getting ready to finish up the certification course on Sunday evening. This year alone, between personal one-on-one training, which would be a very intimate setting like this, and then going to restaurants and training staffs, I would say we've probably trained over about 150 people.
That's awesome.
And the cool thing is I was just recently approached about training servers at a fine dining restaurant. Fully capable of doing that as well. It's not just bartending, it's servers as well.
That's cool. You can branch out and give all kinds of different trainings to
So a kind of interesting word or phrase that we have is anything and everything bartending.
Yeah.
There are several people who do mobile bartending in the area or locally, but we do really literally everything and anything in bartending. Like I mentioned, we do staff trainings, we do menu design, we do private events. I just really am passionate about El Paso. I'm passionate about the art of bartending, and I never thought I would enjoy it. I really didn't. But being an extrovert, being energetic, I've really, really grown fondly about it. And I love the people I've worked with over the years. People ask me all the time what the kind of best years of my life have been. And the answer is tomorrow. It's not in the past. But if I were to say it's in the past, the 2 years that I worked with the Chihuahuas, I met great people. We had a blast, had a lot of fun, opened that stadium. Not to mention those people that I work with, we built a bond and relationship. We still text each other to this day. And not to mention that income the first 2 years was extremely incredible.
That's awesome.
Yep.
You know, aside from RCO bartending, what are your passions?
Definitely working out. Fitness, I would say, is at the forefront.
So I think you'd say that's probably how me and you met. I think we met at Powerhouse.
That is correct. Yeah. And like I told you, I'm an extrovert. I talk to anyone and everyone. I saw that you had some big arms, so I approached you. We start working about.
Yep.
We start talking about working out. We started talking about fitness. You were prepping for a show. That's most definitely my everything. I love working out. And a side note, my father and I, that's our great quality time together. He's my training partner.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your dad was what? So tell me a little about your dad. I know he was into powerlifting.
Yes, sir. My father was an elite powerlifter in 3 different weight classes. He started wrestling in high school, went to Eastwood High School, got 3rd in state his senior year. Then he ended up wrestling at UTEP, got him into competitive sports, branched out, started competing in powerlifting. And he'll tell you himself, he was a much, much better powerlifter than he was wrestler. He was really good, really, really good. Set local, state, and national records. And to this day, he won't find anyone who's a harder working man.
Well, he looks great. I mean, me and you, we meet up on Saturdays sometimes to work out, and he's definitely in shape.
Yeah, most definitely. And don't ever tell my father you look great for your age, because his whole thing is no, I look great. Period. I look great. Period. That's his whole thing.
That's awesome.
But like I told you a few minutes ago, most kids can't find one loving parent, and I'm very fortunate enough that I have a group of parents. My parents got divorced at a very early age, but they did a great job co-raising me. And my step parents also, they are very, very supportive of everything I do. I have a good group of family around me, good group of friends, a fiance, and then my dogs are extra supportive.
I've seen pictures of them on Instagram as well. They're good looking dogs. And also you have on Instagram is some pictures of some very popular people in the bodybuilding world, such as I think Arnold was. Right? How'd you get that picture?
Oh, this is a funny story, as a matter of fact. So this was last summer. We adventured out. We usually go to Orange County, California. We stay in Newport Beach, California, right off of Jamboree. And we decided to head up the coast and go work out at Gold's Gym. It's not the first time I've ever been to Gold's Gym. And as we were driving there, it was funny. It was an inside joke in the car. Every guy walking down the street were like, hey, look, there's Arnold. Hey, look, there's Arnold. Hey, look, there's Arnold. And then we pulled up to the gym, and I don't know when the last time you've been to Gold's or if you have been to Gold's Gym before. You got to go. It's the Mecca. It is the Mecca of bodybuilding. So we pulled up to Gold's Gym, and there's an outdoor area that's been kind of built over the past 5 years since COVID. And my mom hesitates and stops and goes, Chase, there's Arnold. And she's like, no, I'm serious. There's Arnold. And I turn, and it was Arnold.
That's
Arnold
crazy.
was there working out, and I ran as quick as I could to get through. I mean, Arnold's the legend. I mean, he's probably, in terms of physique, not the greatest bodybuilder of all time, but in terms of legacy and what he did for the sport, he is the greatest. He's the most influential bodybuilder of all time, for sure. Yeah. For sure. So I ran to get a picture with him. He did me the favor of taking the picture. Can't say he was the most outgoing or happiest to do it. And then after I got the picture, some of the people were like, you're so lucky you got a picture with him. He usually only takes pictures with women.
Really?
So, yeah. So I guess I was just pretty enough to take the picture with.
So he wasn't super friendly, or was he?
Well, I don't know if you're aware of this. I know you've been living here about 25 years, give or take. You told me.
Yes, sir.
Well, so my father actually had the opportunity to train with Arnold many moons ago. Arnold filmed Conan the Barbarian right across the road in Juarez. They filmed.
I had no idea.
Yeah, they filmed Conan the Barbarian. So my dad used to train at about 3-4 o'clock in the morning. And he pulled up to the gym, and he's like, there's somebody working out at my gym right now. I mean, he was rather pissed off about it because he thought he was one of the only ones that had a key to the gym. And he walked in the gym, and he's like, that's Arnold. That's Arnold. And so make a long story short, when I met Arnold, I told Arnold, hey, come back to El Paso and film another Conan movie.
What did he say?
He said, I love El Paso. I love El Paso.
That is awesome.
Yeah, and he wears Lucchese boots. I don't know if you know that. He's a big fan of Lucchese boots.
I didn't know that,
Yeah, so, but like I said, I'm very fortunate if I got to meet Arnold. We didn't have a long conversation, but I've been blessed to meet a lot of my icons. I've met Jay Cutler, as I know you have as well. Yeah. I've met Arnold. The one that I haven't gotten a chance to meet with, who is currently sick, and we're sending our best to him, is Ronnie. My dad competed against Ronnie in powerlifting many years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, when Ronnie was up and coming, he kind of didn't know whether to pick bodybuilding or powerlifting. So he ended up sticking with bodybuilding, which was probably a good choice on Ronnie's
That is so cool. What a great story.
And a side note about Ronnie that makes Ronnie so unique and why he's the GOAT. Ronnie really is the greatest in many different aspects. It's because Ronnie was a police officer.
Yep.
For 6 of 8 of those Mr. Olympia titles. He lived a full-blown life as a regular person, just a massive regular person.
Right.
Yeah.
Can you imagine getting pulled over by that?
No, absolutely not.
Give you a ticket?
Because that's kind of the joke with the gym community is always like, could you imagine getting pulled over by Ronnie? No, yeah. Ronnie on so many levels is the greatest. Who would be your favorite of all time?
Oh, maybe Flex Wheeler. Or,
Flex had a gorgeous body.
Yeah.
Flex had a gorgeous body.
Yeah. Probably the guys that are Dorian Yates. Of course, he was the big time when I was.
Well, when we talk about the
90s.
greatest of all time, I personally think it's 1A, 1B. Of course, Ronnie. I don't think there'll ever be another Ronnie because Ronnie was gifted genetically, but he also had a work ethic like nobody else. And then when we're talking about 1B, I think Dorian is right there up there with Ronnie in terms of graininess. He was the first real mass monster of all time. And you said that you met Flex, or Flex was one of your favorites.
Yep.
That's what you said. Mm-hmm. I believe Flex Wheeler is the greatest bodybuilder to never win the Mr. Olympia title. Kevin's up there too, Kevin Levrone. But in my humble opinion, Flex is the greatest bodybuilder to ever not win the Mr. Olympia title.
Another one, I don't believe he ever won. Maybe he did compete with Mr. Olympia, but I don't believe he ever won, is Lee Priest.
Well, Lee, I think, is one of the greatest little men. Probably him and Sean Ray.
Sean Ray, yep.
Yeah, and if they had the 212 class like they do now, I think Sean Ray and Lee Priest would have been 1 and 2 for probably over a decade.
Yeah.
And I think that 212 class is really a good class for a lot of guys. And you're seeing Derek Lunsford started out in the 212. He's currently Mr. Olympia. Hottie did 212 for a number of years. You see a lot of the guys from those 212 going up to open and really doing some damage against some of the bigger guys. And I think what they should do is take the 212 winner, take your open winner, and then judge them and have a Mr. Olympia. If you put them side by side, it's kind of hard to judge them because the bigger guy overshadows the little guy. But if you judge them independently, I think that would be really cool. But in answer to your question, no, I think fitness drives everything. Because with fitness, it creates discipline, it creates structure, it creates organization. And I'm really into sports, bodybuilding, but I think at the end of the day, just get up and move.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what drives me in the morning. I love working out in the mornings. People think I'm crazy because I like going at 5. As soon as I get up, I want to go to the gym because it gets your day going.
Well, just
gives you your mental clarity.
Well, just yesterday, as a matter of fact, I was getting ready to leave for the gym, and my fiance said, "Oh, you have to go to the gym," and I said, "No, I get to go to the gym," and I truly stand by that. Like, I love working out, I love training, and we are blessed that we have the opportunity to get to go to the gym.
Yeah,
because there's people who, for whatever reason, don't get to go to the gym that day.
It's a lifestyle. I mean, I've been doing this for years upon years, and it really is just part of being you. As an individual. And
so many of those principles can roll over into running a small business. Mm-hmm. It runs into my teaching career. I'm a PE coach. So I also think it drives competition. When we train together, we're competing against each other, and it's healthy. It creates good environment because competition brings out the best in people.
Sure.
And even if it's for volume, if it's for strength, if it's for money, if it's for whatever goal it is, competition really brings out the best. If you look at the NFL or college, or even dilute it all the way down to the high school level, they always talk about the quarterback position. And if the backup quarterback is pushing the starting quarterback, it just makes both of them better.
And that's a life lesson. That backup one wants to get up there on the big stage.
Yeah. And I think competition is really healthy.
Yeah, no, I would agree with you. So when it comes to RCO bartending, thinking back, do you remember any of specific challenges?
Oh, every day's a challenge. And it's all a learning curve. I learn something new every day, and there's days where we were talking about the gym that it's like when you're going to the gym and you're on your 10th rep or your 11th rep and you want to quit, but going to 12 or 13 or 14 is where the growth comes.
Sure.
Running a small business is like that. I mean,
Yeah.
there's days where you don't necessarily want to do it because you're not sure you're going to get the squeeze out of the juice. But if you don't push through, then you don't really know what the outcome is going to be. So there are a lot of challenges. Being a small business owner is very challenging. That's why you watch people on Instagram, on podcasts who have done it and started from the ground zero all the way to the top. And they always say it's a struggle, and it's very, very real. Yeah.
And if it wasn't, everybody would do it.
Right.
And not everybody does it.
But and just like working out, if it was easy, everybody would have visible abs. You're more likely to be a millionaire than have visible abs. And there's a reason for that.
True.
Yes.
Yeah. Dedication.
Absolutely. Yes.
And consistency.
Yeah. So I mean, in answer to your question, yeah, there's a lot of challenges. Sometimes we can't do things we necessarily want to do because of resources or finances. So you kind of have to hold off and wait for a few minutes. Finding manpower, doing certain things. It takes a lot of patience, and that's not one of my greater gifts in life. I'm not the most patient person. I realize that it takes a lot of work and dedication. I'm not an instant gratification person. Like, I don't want to just go through the drive-through at McDonald's and get my food and be full.
Gotcha.
But I'm not the most patient. So it's taught me a lot of patience, because you want to be an overnight success, and that's just not realistic. You got to kind of think in terms of, okay, weeks, months, years, and how can we pivot? How can we scale? If this doesn't quite go the way we want, can we use it to our advantage? And you just really have to stay mentally strong, because you have a lot of people who are supportive, but I think there's a lot of people who also are unsure if you're making the best choice for what it is that you want to accomplish. I mean, if you came up to me right now and said, Chase, I want to be Mr. Olympia, I would probably instantly think, well, maybe not.
Yeah.
But you have to believe that you can do it. And that's any dream or goal.
You're right. And supports everything. I mean, it really helps when you have a supportive family or a spouse, or it really helps.
Or all the above.
Or all the above.
Yes.
That's right. That's right.
So you were born and raised in Albuquerque. What's some things that you've liked about El Paso so far?
Oh, man. So first of all, no offense to Albuquerque, I would never move back to Albuquerque, because it just doesn't fit with me anymore. El Paso, since I've come here, since I joined the Border Patrol, it's been 25 years. I love El Paso. I love the community. I love the people. It's a small town. It seems like it's a small town, but it's not. I mean, we're really big. I think we're up around 900,000 people.
I just looked the other day. We're the 23rd largest city in the United States. Don't know how
Do
accurate
you recall
that is.
the average number?
800,000 plus or minus.
That's a lot of people, but it's in the same sense. It's small. You know somebody that more than likely knows somebody else, or I love it. And then it's such a safe community. I mean, overall, I think we were voted or ranked number 2 safest city back in mid 2000s, I want to say, and that's with Juarez right across the border. That was at the height of the violence in Juarez. I mean, overall, El Paso's great. I wouldn't have raised my kids here. I wouldn't have stayed here if I didn't love El Paso.
And what has been your best or fondest memory over the past 20 plus years here in El Paso?
My career in the Border Patrol, I loved being down the border and protecting everybody on this side from those that try to come across that would want to do harm, or that have criminal records, or child rapists. I mean, I remember I apprehended a child rapist, and he ended up getting like 5 years in prison from when the judge actually sent down the sentence here in the U.S. But it really gives you a sense of feeling of accomplishment and doing good for the community, doing that particular job. I think all those memories of me working in the Border Patrol would probably resonate in why I love El Paso so much.
And your wife is a native or not?
She is. She was born and raised here. Her dad, naturalized citizen from Sinaloa.
One interesting thing I learned about Adam very recently is he's bilingual, correct?
I am. You wouldn't know it by looking at me.
No, but you can't judge a book by its cover either.
I am. Lived in South America for a couple years. The Navy sent me to live in Costa Rica and go to immersion school. to live with a family, learn Spanish, and then they sent me to Quito, Ecuador, to do the same thing, live with a family, go to school, specifically learn Spanish. So even before I joined the Border Patrol, I was pretty fluent in Spanish.
And how long were you in the Navy for?
4 years.
4 years.
Yeah.
And what would you say you learned from the Navy that helped you in the Border Patrol?
Military in general. I mean, I could talk about the Navy in particular, but the military, it teaches you discipline. It really helps you grow up. When I was in Albuquerque, when I left, it just made me grow up. And being away from your family and everything else, you have no choice but to grow up, right? And then you, of course, you have to have that core desire to do something better than yourself, you know? I think the whole idea of serving my country really resonated well with me. But yeah, the military teaches you so much discipline that you can use the rest of your life. I think, and I would advocate for anybody coming out of high school to join the military. It's just so beneficial, not just for the benefits, but in life general.
And it's funny that you kind of say that, because I don't even know if you knew this about myself or not. But so 3 out of 4 of my grandparents are veterans. My grandmother, she was an Army nurse, and then my dad's parents, they were both in the Marine Corps, both of them. And my grandmother, she was more proud to be a Marine than my grandfather. She'd tell anyone and everyone that she was a Marine, because back in the 60s when she joined the Corps was probably less than 10% women at that particular time. Yeah. And looking back on my life, my dream growing up was to be a fighter pilot. When I was like 10 years old, 9 years old, awesome. I wanted to be a fighter pilot. And as you progress through life, your goals kind of change. But looking back on my life, I kind of think to myself how things would have played out different. And I don't say better, because you wouldn't be sitting here talking to you if it would have been, but how would it have played out different? Maybe not better, but if I would have joined the military for 4 years, because it does teach you traits. It teaches you discipline, structure, teamwork, all those things you were just saying. And then on top of it, you can get school paid for. You can get great benefits. And then we were talking about trade school a few minutes ago. The military will provide you with that. And like, you got out of the military and joined the Border Patrol, and it created a life for you. And I think when you're 18 years old and kind of lost, it's a great option.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I don't think there's not one branch of the military that wouldn't be beneficial for somebody to join right out of high school. Yeah, I think those programs, ROTC, and I think they're really probably underutilized in high school. I mean, high school students, my son was a big gamer growing up, but out of nowhere, he wanted to join the military, and I was ecstatic, you know. A lot of kids, I don't think they really know what they want. You know, it really takes somebody to really sit down and explain to them their options. I mean, nobody sat down and explained to me my options. I had a buddy that was joining the Army, and I was like, that's pretty cool. And then when I went down to the recruiters, like a co-located Army, Marines, Air Force, all in the same row, right? And I just ended up talking to a Navy guy.
So it was just kind of fate.
Yeah, it's kind of random, yeah. My buddy went to the
So
Army.
it's not like you're like, I want this per se.
No, actually, I wanted to be a police officer. So even before I joined the Navy, I went through the whole gamut of being a New Mexico State policeman. And right when I was to the final acceptance level, I up and joined the Navy out of nowhere. Yeah.
Well, talking about business and economy in El Paso, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Fort Bliss is the second largest Army base in the United States.
It's probably up there. I'm not exactly
we'll
sure.
Say top five. We'll
right,
say top
sure.
5. Mm-hmm. And El Paso, I mean, it fuels the economy. I've done events for a lot of the soldiers. My father-in-law, he's a veteran who's a contractor, and he provides me with a lot of interesting stories. And like I said, Fort Bliss and those soldiers really fuel El Paso's economy.
Sure.
And when you leave El Paso, or you're gone on a trip, on a vacation, going somewhere, seeing someone, people always bring up the mountains in Fort Bliss. Like it's really a staple of El Paso. And like I said, the military base and the Army and Fort Bliss really helps provide a lot of jobs. And
oh no, it does.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yep. A lot of I think a lot of people that are in the military too, they get out and they end up staying here just because it's a great community.
Well, and it's funny you say that, because going to the gym for so many years, I've gotten to meet so many different soldiers, and I wouldn't say all, but a lot of them do end up loving it, and they end up staying because of the people, the cost of living, the schools, and just El Paso really has a special kind of curve and charm that is really unlike any other city. You have the mountains, you have relatively good weather 300 days out of the year. And I'm a true native. I feel very passionate about El Paso. I just want to see the city grow and succeed and go in the right direction, because my family's been here for so many years. And my dad
Right.
was born and raised in Georgia,
What part of Georgia?
Albany, Georgia.
Okay.
And then they were stationed at Camp Lejeune in North Carolina. And then they ended up moving here because my grandfather got a job with the El Paso Electric Company.
Oh, okay.
So that's how my father got here. And then my mother's side of the family, their legacies, they've been here for generations. Yes. And the Star on the Mountain, I hold a very special place to me in my heart, because my family played a key role in designing the Star on the Mountain. And whenever you're coming through El Paso and you see that star, I mean, you instantly know where you are.
Absolutely,
You're
yeah.
home, or
Right.
you're in El Paso.
Yeah.
And one of my really good friends lives in Austin, Texas, and he says all the time, he's like, man, whenever I see that star in the mountain, I know it's El Paso. I know it's El Paso.
That is so cool.
And have you gotten a chance? You said your kids were raised here, but have you gotten a chance to visit a lot of the local high schools, or not really? Or
So they both went to St. Raphael's Catholic School. My son attended all 10 years. I want to say it was 10 years, pre-K through 8th grade of St. Raphael's Catholic School, and then went to Eastwood. My daughter went from pre-K, I want to say like 4th grade, 5th grade, and then she attended, I forget the name of the school, right down the street from St. Raphael's, and then went to Eastwood also. So they both graduated from Eastwood High School, both soccer players.
my dad's an Eastwood alumni.
Is he really?
Yes, sir.
I didn't know that.
Class of 76. Yeah.
That's the year I was born.
Oh,
Wow. That's amazing.
yeah.
76, wow.
76.
Wow. I think they have all the pictures throughout the whole. I mean, I've walked those halls. I think they have every single class that graduated.
Interesting side note. So he set a high school state record in the bench press at
at
Eastwood.
Eastwood?
Yeah, and that was a state
That's
record.
awesome.
That was a state record. 365 pounds in high school.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's funny because we laugh and joke. His squat and deadlift went through the roof, and his bench stayed exactly the same. It never went up in 30 years of competing in powerlifting. And then I believe it was 75 or 76, Eastwood won the state championship in basketball. So my dad was there, a part of that whole thing. And then, of course, living in El Paso, you hear about the legacy of the 1966 Miners and Don Haskins, and
Yeah.
they hang the banner. And
Yep.
there's just a lot of history, and it's really cool. El Paso's unique because anybody from El Paso will tell you that it's really like 4 or 5 cities operating under one roof, because you have West Side, you have Northeast, you have Lower Valley, you have Upper Valley,
Yep.
you have East Side, and now you have East Lake and Horizon. And they'll instantly tell you in the first 5 seconds what part of town they're from, because it kind of tells you something about yourself.
Well, it's funny because a lot of times like East Siders don't really go to the West Side, and the West Sides don't really come to the East Side.
So
very
true.
much.
So I go to Powerhouse on the weekends, and I mean, for us, that's like going to
A
Van
drive.
Horn. Yeah.
That is so funny. I don't ever go to the West Side unless it's for something specific, I mean, which is just it's weird. It's the way it is.
Most
Here in El Paso.
definitely.
Wow.
But like I said, we just really want what's best for the city. My mother and father are both retired. Well, actually, my mother and stepfather are retired principals. And
And where were they educators at?
so my mother, for a number of years, was at Ornado Middle School. And then my stepdad was the principal at Wiggs Middle School.
Okay.
They're both retired. They double dip. So they go to New Mexico and teach there.
Oh,
So,
that's awesome.
Yeah, they're very, very fortunate that they're living the good life because they have their pension.
In
plus
Las
the-
Cruces they teach, or where is it?
So my mother's in La Union, which is
Okay.
in Anthony, kind of near Wet and Wild, and then my stepdad is in Chaparral, which is kind of in the northeast.
Is he a principal up there also?
No, so funny thing is he's like, I did my time as a principal.
You don't want to?
No, he wants his summers off. He likes
Okay.
having his summers off.
Yeah.
He's totally content with that. They probably have 2 or 3 years left. They're kind of helping raise my nephew, and then they'll kind of ride off into the sunset.
No, that's awesome. I mean, I don't know your parents that well, but they were very nice individuals when I did meet them. That's really cool.
Yeah, and like I said, we really appreciate you having us on, both as a small business,
Oh, yeah.
as a native, as a fitness enthusiast, and if anybody else wants to talk to us from any other platform, any political background, religious background, we're just all about helping the community, and we really want what's best for the city. And anything we can do to help you guys provide a great entertainment experience or improve your revenues, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. Once again, it's RCO Bartending. That is the handle.
Awesome. Well, Chase, thank you very much for coming here and hanging out with me.
Thank you, Adam. I really hope to have or be back on at some point. Wishing you all the best, wishing your staff all the best. Everyone today was very friendly, outgoing, welcoming, and you have an absolutely great facility.
No, thank you very much. One more time, everybody. It's RCO Bartending. Chase, you go over you have a number, or how would they get a hold of you?
So on the Instagram page, once again, the handle is RCO.bartending, and they're more than welcome to message me on there, or my telephone number, 915-240-7283. And before you call, if you need any information, you're curious, you want anything beyond the Instagram page, we have a website, www.rcobartending.com. And just a reminder, we do menu designs, staff trainings, customer service trainings, one-on-one staff trainings, and more importantly, any events you have, wedding, quinceañera, we'd really love to come out and serve you, show off our skills, make you a smile, and remember, always chase the flavor.
That's awesome. I love that. Well, everybody, RCO Bartending, one of El Paso's small businesses that helps fuel our local economy. Support them. I appreciate you attending today, the Bauman Show. We'll see you all next time.